Alright, and we are back for the second part of TRB. I know I'm recording 2 days in a row. It's insanity. It's insanity? Oh my god, I can't talk. It's insane. There we go. Not insanity. It's not insanity, and it's certainly not insanity. It's insanity. It's... no. Just start the race. Alright, we are here at the starting grid for Imola. Now that I'm done having an inability to speak English. I didn't actually make a particular note of who's really in the championship fight. I think it's JV, Barbara, Riley, Lene, and Gina. And 4 of those 5 are in the top 4 on the starting grid. And then there's Vert. Do I start calling him JV, or do I keep calling him JV, or do I just start calling him Vert? Because, like, Joseph is his real name. Vert's like a nickname, but he was so commonly known as Vert Wheeler and everything that he did in, you know, Time Loop and the movies on which he was based and such, that I just feel like it's weird calling him JV and not just Vert. I don't know. I'll work it out over time, but anyway. He starts down in 11th. He is the points leader, but I guarantee you he won't be by the end of this race unless something catastrophic happens to Barbara and or Riley. Why can't the HUD just default to this? Like, how many times have I had to change that? Wonder if that's like a setting somewhere, maybe. I'm not sure though. That's actually Corvettes on the left, RX-7 on the right. Corvette's clearly better off the line. Barbara may be into second coming out of the first section of corners. No, she will not be. Need to look forward to the back. Looks like Tyler is going to go too wide with Sebastian Sham. It's going to be sketchy, but he's going to keep all 4 wheels on the road, and he's into 9th. Definitely seen AI make a lot of mistakes there. DeBriscoe has had a good start. He's passed 2 cars. Well, he's passed Isabella, and he's working on staying ahead of Lene, but he will not be able to. The RX-7 has more acceleration. I think the Countach might be better in top speed, but we're not hitting that right now. So Riley has now run away with the lead of this event so far. Barbara wants to get around Gina and track her down. Here comes Bradley Hunter on DeBriscoe through the chicane, and that's a lot of curb for the Countach. That doesn't usually end well, no. Can't really say that that's really either one's fault, to be honest. That's just kind of the nature of that turn. Very sketchy driving. Here comes Natsuki to take advantage of Bradley, who seems to have just been taking a front row seat to those 2. And somebody is off the circuit. It is Sebastian, so he's already last in points with 0 points, and it's only going to get worse. So as we head down the back straightaway here, we actually see Natsuki too. She had to sit it on a lot of cars to get there. He's overtaken by JV. And suddenly there's Wayne Hansen being Wayne Hansen, just absolutely cleans his clock. And he gets away with 10th from that. Although, Vert might be, yeah, he's going to be taking that back. Meanwhile, up ahead, it is still continuing. So, Natsuki sent it on 3 people at once. She might get a 3rd position off of DeBriscoe here. She about runs DeBriscoe out of road. Tyler having to agonizingly wait for his shot at the Countach driver. Natsuki has to use a lot of curb, but keeps it on the road. Vert is not having, he's not living his best life right now. He's stuck in 12th place. He cannot seem to make any forward progress. Tyler's gonna go for it down the hill. He's not gonna find anything though. He didn't have the run he thought he did. Brad Hunter had a peak, also nothing. Just trying any kind of pass through that double right's not usually a good idea. Barbara still working on passing Gina for second place. She will not be able to do it anywhere near here. Tyler will finally have his run at the Lamborghini, and DeFrisco just kind of backs up from that. I guess there's no need to even contest that, because he probably knows the Supra is pretty hard to catch. Natsuki very quickly closing in on the Lotus of Flynn, but seems very conservative about going for a pass at the moment. Which is kind of bizarre. You wouldn't think so, but she is. Morelli has produced a 7-second lead in 2 laps of racing. She might be on pace if Gina keeps Barbara at bay. Might literally be on pace to win by like 12, 13 seconds. There's some weird sound there. Wasn't a fan of that. Please stop. Okay, that's not fixed that. Brad Hunter goes around DeFrisco with ease. Yeah, I thought the Countach had more power than it does. It does not have the acceleration I anticipated it having. Due to how long Gina has kept Barbara at bay, Linnea has managed to catch up to the two of them. Natsuki still hesitant on passing the Lotus ahead. Now she's taken so long that Tyler McIntosh has arrived. And still nothing into the last set of corners. And Tyler's like, well, if you're not going to do it, then I am. What is happening? Natsuki remains ahead despite, against Tyler's challenge. It is now an 11-second lead at the front. This is insanity. Still not the most we've ever had, but it's still quite a lot for just a 4-lap race in an early tier. So that leaves one the question, is it because of how fast Gina is going? Or is it because of how fast Ryan is going? Or is it because of how slow Gina is? I imagine that gap would be anywhere near what it is right now if Barbara were the one running second. Even Linnea's fastest lap is half a second quicker, and she's driving the same car Gina has. I don't like that my audio is doing this, but weirdly enough, it seems like this is a game thing, not a mic thing, because I'm just paranoid. I've had a lot of technical difficulties with my mic this year. This is like my 10th mic on the year, and I'd rather the sound not already be giving out on me. So this has definitely been a race to forget for Burt Wheeler. He had the points lead and not even going to be close to it. As Riley is going to absolutely stomp the field here at Imola. That could be like a 15-second margin to victory, depending on how slowly Gina went around this last lap. Yep, 15-second margin to victory for Gina. Minus Vert, the other four of the top 5 in points. Why is the audio doing that? I'm really not a fan. To take up the bottom 2 spots in points. And next you look at Monza, which is a track where it's going to be much more of the same. Supras versus Corvettes. Or at least that's what it should be, anyway. Barbara Page, now your points leader. 2 over Riley, 6 over Gina, 9 over Wheeler, and 12 over Linné. Nobody else is really a factor at the moment as we reach the that marks halfway. Alright, we're at the starting grid for Monza, as we hope to God that I don't believe in that the technical difficulties can just buzz off for a bit. I'm not even kidding, I've had this pair of earbuds for less than a week and they're already cutting out every once in a while. So I went back into the recording and checked, and yeah, he would suddenly just stop hearing me, or it would skip out a word on me. Whenever the audio cut on my end, the mic was actually just not functioning for like half a second. This would be a record, because every pair of earbuds that I've had in my life has lasted at least a week and a half. This pair I think I've had for like, I don't know, 5 days? It's kind of sad, I'm not gonna lie. Anyway, as you look at the starting grid, my grievances of garbage microphone equipment are over. For now. I was like looking through. I was trying to find if I had said anything to anybody about the broken mic. I was trying to see exactly how long it was. Anyway, look at the starting grid. Let's see. The main ones to look for were Riley, Gina, and Barbara. And well, Riley's in the top half. Gina's 10th. Barbara's 13th. Wheeler's even worse. Linné's no better. So here's a chance for the Supras to finally reel them in a little bit, not a ton. They'll be starting 3rd and 4th, and they've only got a couple of Lotuses to overtake before they're the leaders. I swear those two have been starting next to each other in like every race. However, they've both gotten off the grid terribly, somehow, someway. Going through T1, Isabella Flynn will be the leader. Tyler got a run on June, and that's an easy pass if ever I saw one. Natsuki a tiny bit further back than him. Will honestly lose like a second just trying to get around this car. June is working on like a 3-cylinder engine here compared to everyone else's 6s and 8s. It literally seems like that. One must be wary of the Countachs on this track, though, as Gina is already working for 7th. She's already got 7th ahead of DePrisco. I think she'll get ahead of him through the Lemnos. Travis Wild may also be a bit of a dark horse car here, as that Panamera does have quite a bit of top speed and overall horsepower. Just not really good cornering, which you don't need the greatest cornering at Monza, so yep, it's back. Oh god. And I missed it, but Tyler McIntosh is now the leader at Monza. I mean, I missed it, but I'm not surprised. The Lotus Exige, good in the corners. Doesn't help a ton when there aren't very many corners, though. And Natsuki will also just screech by. Bradley Hunter from 8th on the grid is already the next in line to take 3rd away from Isabella. Gina now into 6th ahead of Summers. Bit of pandemonium in the back as the bottom 3 scramble to get around the Porsche driver who probably couldn't even reach 140 down the main straightaway. Well, he got 140. 145. And we've had a conniption there. So heading towards 1, we see the two Countachs together. DePrisco tried to break, tried to get clear of Hyde, but instead just runs into him. And yeah, that's another. I said watch out for the Countachs here. Their brakes are old and not super effective. Although, that's not really a valid excuse. The Ferrari GTO is just as old of a car. I don't know. Either way, it didn't really seem to do a ton to Hyde. It just kind of threw off everybody else that was behind him. My voice is going away. Oh god, not now. I have enough things to deal with in this episode. Natsuki is within range of Tyler to take the lead away, but when you're in the same vehicle as the opponent, that gets pretty hard to do sometimes. Especially at a track like Monza where the skill gap isn't really as apparent as it would be at other tracks. Bradley Hunter is slowly catching up to them over time. Riley has also just passed Isabella to take away P4. And Travis, well, catch up to alongside. That's a pretty easy pass for for the Panamera. June can brake as aggressively as she wants to, but admittedly, as soon as we get out of this corner, it's not going to matter anymore. And you go. Natsuki's gotten close enough. She's going to send it into 1. Supra versus Supra battle. I guess they think they have space to do this. They've got about 2 seconds to Bradley behind, so they can fight, but they can't fight forever. Natsuki was unsuccessful in her bid to take away the lead. It is utter pandemonium from 7th on backward. And Travis Wild's beginning to escape said pandemonium, but June Summers is, as she's good for, creating a gigantic Lotus Evora train. Hyde, with all of his rear end damage, will attempt to get away from said train, but broke really early. Wayne's just gonna ship it on in there, but Hyde's got better cornering, I guess. Why'd I do that? The Sham is still with this pack, but like not by much. Barbara wants to take 12th away from DePrisco. I don't think she'll have too many problems doing that. Vert going for a points position on Hansen. Vert just muscled Wayne Hansen out of the way. Interesting to see the reaction from that from him. But here comes Barbara, which may not allow him to, yeah, he will not be able to try and take it back. Gina is not actually any faster than Isabella in this current race. That's probably half your reason you're braking so early. Yerk 7s don't know their own. Oh my god! So as we're heading down the main straightaway, we just saw Lene and Wayne trade places down the straightaway. Lene brakes early, but DePrisco has had enough of Wayne's bullcrap. Unfortunately, Lene had to get caught up in his revenge scheme. I think DePrisco has broken his suspension from that, based on the way his car was limping. But that was a brutal, like, double takeout. Oh my god, that camera work. Let's see, TV3. This may be one of the biggest crashes in CS history. Yeah, so DePrisco's suspension is just wrecked. Hansen was already going to hit Lene as it was. And then he just gets absolutely sent flying by his former buddy, slash made now rival. That is insanity. Doesn't show any suspension damage, but he has to have some. Wayne is just out of place. Lene is way off in the runoff. That's a triple takeout in one corner. And then Sham is like, oh, free real estate. You can get 12th place now instead of 15th. Oh, whoop-de-doo. Why is my mic doing this? Why must you hurt me in this way? I can't get a new one until Wednesday. Unless, you know, it's completely broken. And it's not yet, but man, it feels like it probably won't be long. So Barbara is the last one in line to overtake the Lotus Evora. Meanwhile, back at the ranch, well, there's nothing really happening up front. And Barbara will take 10th away from June, so to gain her points in this event. So Riley, I think, will definitely have the points lead after that. Wheeler and Barbara managed to take a couple of points away from this race. Tyler McIntosh is going to be your winner at this Monza event. Riley with 4th place, I believe, will claim the points lead as her own. Wheeler and Page not making great results. Wheeler might yet take 8th. He will take 8th at the last possible minute. Minimize the damage to a slight extent. But I'm pretty sure it's pretty set that Riley is going to be your points leader anyway. And that's it for Monza. What a mess. Yes, Riley has the points lead by 5 now. Over Barbara. 7 over Gina. And 13 over Wheeler. Tyler has entered the picture. He is now 14 points off of Riley. A race win, and Riley scoring nothing means he would, well, if he wins the next race and they don't score too many points, he'll be relevant. Natsuki and Lene are distant shots at this point. They can still technically do it, but I think if you're anywhere below Lene right now, you can pretty much just hang it up. Yes, there are 90 points on the board right now, still, but it's not super likely that you'll get more than 50 of the next 90 points. And even less so that you'll do that, and then Riley and Barbara and Gina don't score like anything. Anyway, on to Magione, which I would probably value that this or Valinga are Sebastian Sham's 2 last chances to score points. On the starting grid for Magione, that's the name. And it's another Corvette, Mazda, GTO. Sebastian starts 7th. If there was ever a chance where he would be able to score, this would be it. If he can avoid being passed by more than 3 cars, which means he's gonna have to keep at least one. He's gonna have to keep at least one of 2 Countachs, 2 Supras, and a Corvette behind him. Why am I in this view? Gina does not get a great launch. Riley should be able to take full advantage of this. Maybe not. Nope, she'll find herself on the curb and Gina stays 2nd. Sebastian's actually overtaken Hyde through the first 2 corners. So he must have had a really bad start. Link just survived 1 lap without being overtaken yet. Hunter going for a pass on Summers. There's nearly contact. Still really cumbersome driving from both of them. I think Hunter has it? No. Alright, now he does. The Corvette horsepower will finally be able to drag him ahead. Yeah, there is not a ton happening right now. Oh my god. The 2 Supras waiting in line, they go around Isabella. Neither one managing to do much of anything though. We might just cut ahead to the finish here, unless something crazy happens. Yeah, I think we'll just be cutting this up. this is just gonna be, this is like it's shaping up to be 2 laps of nothing. Alright, yeah, nothing happens, so we will just cut back in now as Barbara takes the last 2 corners here at Magione, and she will take a victory by a decently hefty margin. I would say probably about 6-7 seconds here. Gina with yet another 2nd place finish. It feels like this is like her 5th on the championship. 7.2 second victory. Sebastian Scham will finally score some gosh darn points in that 718 of his. Isabella takes the last points. Neither Supra could ever find a way to steal that spot from her. It is now a tie between Riley and Barbara for the points lead. That finish has put Tyler back out of contention due to not being able to score anything in that race. And you could even say the same for Lene and Vert. We've had 2 back-to-back bogey results. Well, Vert didn't score nothing at Monza, but he didn't score, I don't think he scored much at Magione. And Riley and Barbara have been pretty stainless in this episode particularly. Gina also consistently running top 4, top 5 or so in each of the last 3 races. Mind you, this is her home stretch, just a bunch of races in Italy in a row. The only one that's missing here is we do not go to Mugello in Tier B because of how long the track is. Same reason my Spa isn't on this calendar. What am I doing? Vallelunga. Vallelunga! It sounds like that mask from the Crash Bandicoot games when you pick them up and gain invincibility. Vallelunga! 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 Alright, we're here at the starting grid for Vallelunga, and the game has decided that Barbara, Riley, and Gina are going to be not competitive here. They're starting outside of points, all 3 of them. And starting in points are Bert and Lene will be given a chance to claw their way back towards the points leaders. Same with Tyler. Albeit not by a ton, because passing is pretty difficult to do here. Lene will get a good shot at some points. She can get a podium from there pretty easily. Vert and Tyler will have to put together decent races at a track where, as I just mentioned, overtakes are hard to come by. But if you're Riley or Barbara here, you're not going to score. You might score 1 point, and that's reliant on somebody DNFing, pretty much. Somebody that isn't you, and more importantly, somebody that started ahead of you. Well, June Summers may have gotten a better start, but I can tell you right now, Lene is going to be pulling back ahead anyway. Excuse me. Too wide for the lead between Wild and Hunter. Hunter will unsurprisingly be the leader out of the first couple of turns. DePrisco about runs Natsuki off the racetrack twice. And Natsuki, unfazed, will complete the overtake anyway. Barbara, who has already passed Gina, who I assume had a really bad start like the other RX-7 did, will now go for 10th on DePrisco, and I think she will get it, maybe. Oh yeah, she will. Tyler has just stolen 6th from June Summers. Natsuki wants 8 from Isabella, and she will take it. McIntosh has caught the back of Wheeler, who is stuck on the back of Hansen. Lene is stuck on the back of Travis Wild. You see where this is going? It's a good thing Imola and Monza were absolute clown fiestas, because these other two races haven't really been the most entertaining. Luckily, I had the foresight to make this 3 laps, because I kinda expected that this would happen. So you've only got to deal with 3 laps of this. Which we're already halfway through the race. This is technically the same net length in total time as the previous round was, but the difference here is that it's, you know, always show the first lap, and always show the first corner of the second lap. Only then do you ever really begin to determine whether a race is interesting or not. Gina is up to 11th, but the way things are going, I don't think she'll be scoring here. She'll have to pass Barbara for that, and the pace difference is not enough for that to happen. Wheeler looks for an overtake on the Countach driver. The first sign of action that we've had since the start of the race. Lene found no space to get around the Panamera, but Vert's now in 4th. The Lotus versus Lotus battle for P8 in the race, which Isabella will be the winner of that. And Barbara wants to capitalize. She will instead get caught behind the Lotus, but managed to keep Gina at bay, because then Gina got caught behind the Lotus. Lotus goes horrifically wide through this corner for no obvious reason, but still manages to stay in 9th for the moment. They return to their normal, original stations, as it were. They will have one more shot at it into the next braking zone, but if Barbara's not alongside here, she's not going to get it done. Now, she is desperately trying to do precisely what I just said, get alongside. And she knew what she had to do, but she did not have the grip to do it. So, I think she'll be walking away with P9 here. And we have another debut, or another maiden victory in the Challenge Series. As exiting the last corner, Brad Hunter will win at Vallelunga. Every Corvette driver, I think, has won in this championship. Travis Wild takes second place in the Porsche Panamera. A crucial podium for Lene. Vert Wheeler closes in some points as well. Tyler with 5th, meaning he overtook Wayne Hansen with the camera not on him after Hansen did so. Or after Wheeler did so. Barbara scores 1 singular point, unable to pass even the slowest car on the grid. Barbara, the points leader by 1, because she scored that 1 point that Riley did not get. Gina holds station. It is now 1 back to Riley, 6 back to Gina, 10 back to Vert, 11 back to Lene. Tyler 19 back, but another decent result, and another race like that basically, and it'd pretty much be all square between them. Natsuki and Hunter are distant threats, but with only 4 races to go, it's not, you know, it's probably not going to happen, because I'm sure one of those top 4 will be scoring something in the next few races, which would pretty much eliminate, and, you know, considering they're going to be scoring points, that'll pretty much eliminate anybody lower than Tyler. If Barbara won Zandvoort, or Riley did, or even Gino did, No, wouldn't knock Bradley Hunter and Travis Sanatsky completely out of contention, but I think it'd be pretty much like a logistical thing. Like, yeah, you're probably not going to get it. Not from here.